Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're back on this '06 Buick Rendezvous, and we're going to be replacing the front wheel bearings. So the reason I'm doing this is I've got a ABS sensor light on for the right, but I went ahead and just got both front ones because they usually go at once. So I've got the emergency brake set and the wheel chalked in the rear, and I'm going to start on this passenger side. So I went ahead and got the wheel jacked up. Next thing we're going to do is get this tire off. All right, with the tire off, you can see obviously this hub is where we got to get to be. So this is your plug for it. So next thing we're going to do is go ahead and get this caliper off. That way we can move it, and then we can come back here and get this bracket off, move it, and take the rotor off, and then we'll check it out then. So let me go get my socket set and see what I need to take these off. It took a 12 millimeter to get the caliper bolts off, which is right over there. It took a 15 millimeter to get these bracket bolts off. And then up on the Discover and taking that off, my brake piston is just trashed. It was broke all to pieces, so I'm going to get a new caliper. But there it is. So we need to get this spindle nut off. And then of course we have the 3 bolts right here, which you should be able to get to. In the back of there, I've already checked, and they are a 13 millimeter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this axle nut off. I'll have to let you know what size it is. And then I'm going to go back here and heat up this bearing to see if I can't get it to come free without having to take this assembly off. Let's get going. Alrighty, so with just a little bit of heat and a 13 mil deep mill on this side, or 13 mil deep socket, then the rest was just 13 with this little breaker bar. And they came right out. Now, as far as that axle socket, mine took a 34 millimeter, took the impact, took it right off. So at this point, we should be able to take and break this hub free. It's going to be seized up. All right, guys, it was a little tougher than imagined because there's my ABS sensor. It was annihilated. I actually had to beat the cover off because it stuck to the inside, as you can tell from all this corrosion. So what I ended up doing was just putting my axle nut back on and resting the bearing up against the housing so I wasn't beating it back against the transaxle back there. So once I'd done that, got it stabled, I had to just keep hammering and pulling and hammering, and it finally came out. But you can see why this was rusted in there pretty good. So what I'm going to do is we'll take my wire brush, clean up this axle real good, clean this housing up really nice. The plate that came off, I took a little bit of a bend, so I've got to straighten that back out. But I'm going to get all that back in, clean all this up, and then I'll start the assembly of putting the new on. When I slide that new bearing on, I am going to put some grease in here, just a little bit of high temp, like brake grease that I have, just so to help prevent that from happening again. But let's go ahead and start getting this thing cleaned up. All right, guys, so I got the new bearing on. The kind that I went with is right here. It's a FKG bearing. Pick them up on eBay, but they actually came with anti-seize already in the splines, so I really wouldn't have had to use my brake lube. But anyways, so I got that in, just to be mindful that this plate goes down towards the bottom. It's going to shield that rotor once it goes back on. But this nut right here, your main spindle nut's 177 foot-pounds, and these back here are 133. So I done my best to get that big old torque wrench in there. So I probably got them pretty close. I actually didn't reach it to click 133 just because I couldn't get the movement that I needed, but I would imagine they're pretty close because 133 is a lot of foot-pounds to it. So right now I've went ahead and put the dielectric grease to this plug-in, and this new plug-in has a metal clip on it, where the other one had just the push-in section. So it's a little bit different, but what I ended up finding is where this bracket has multiple slots in it, it clipped down in here on this second slot and gave it a decent amount of room to work around and to clear everything. So I'm pretty happy with that. But right now I'm going to jump to the other side and take that brake caliper off, because I do have new ones I got to go pick up at the parts store. They had like a $44 core charge, so I definitely want to make sure I get them there. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So when we come back, I'll have a new caliper. We'll get with a bracket, and we'll get it loaded up and get this back together and give it a test run. that is it for this video. So if you see this shirt in a couple of different videos, please mind you, I did change my shirt. I'm just filming the ending to some of the videos that I had forgot to get around to. But that is it right now for the 06 Buick Rendezvous. I'm gonna drive it for a little while. Probably just show a little before and after cleaning these headlights up and the tail lights, and just cleaning the car out, because as far as mechanically, as of right now, there's nothing else that I need to do but go get a West Virginia inspection sticker on it. But any questions, comments, please hit them down below. Please like, subscribe, and follow. Check me out on Instagram, MustangJackson67. But until next time, let's keep building.